The familiar unfolding of envelopes revealed to students across England the unfamiliar sight of downgraded exam results. But exactly how did this crisis unfold, and when did the people responsible realise it was going wrong? Well, today the schools minister claimed he wasn't aware of any major problems until after results were published, because he'd only seen the model for moderating grades, but not the algorithm used to apply it.
It was a fair system, the model. Something went wrong, however, in the way the model translated into grades using the algorithm.
But when did you first look at the algorithm?
I didn't see the algorithm until it was published on Thursday.
So nobody asked for the algorithm within the Department for Education? You didn't ask to see the algorithm?
We had an observer in the implementation group. These are all issues that will be examined.
But this former advisor to the Department for Education today cast doubt on that explanation. Does that make sense to you?
That doesn't make sense. I mean, the algorithm is the model. There's no distinction between those two things. It did what it had been asked to do, and the consequences of that were understood, at least by some people, in advance.
So what exactly did the government know, and when? Well, on March the 18th, the Prime Minister cancelled GCSE and A-level exams in England. 13 days later, exam regulator Ofqual was asked to come up with an alternative way of awarding grades. But when the Department for Education board met in June, the minutes show exams were not discussed at all. On July the 11th, the Education Select Committee published concerns Ofqual's model would lead to inaccurate grades.
We had problems with the model, urged Ofqual to publish it, this so-called algorithm, so that it could be picked apart and scrutinised and people could make changes where necessary.
And Sir John Coles, a former director at the Department for Education, raised similar concerns directly with Gavin Williamson, concerns the department say were put to Ofqual. The Royal Statistical Society was so worried they offered to help the regulator, but their expertise was rejected after they refused to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
This problem could have been avoided if the government had been more transparent and had got more external views, external eyes involved earlier, before everything broke last week.
The Education Secretary insists Ofqual assured him its algorithm was the best way of ensuring fairness, and he too only became aware of major problems once results had been published. An independent review will now investigate all of this as students across England continue to live with its consequences. Daniel Hewitt, News at 10.